You're listening to I Love This TV Show, The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, Season 3, Episode 24, Mr. Terrific. Original air date, April 3rd, 1988. In this episode, Blanche arrives home and tells the ladies she is exhausted from bed shopping all day. Sophia thinks she said bed hopping. Rose comes home and tells them she met Mr. Terrific. Blanche then tells a story about a guy she met who was married and the wife threw a vase at her. Rose explains and shows them a picture. They are all confused. Sophia finally realizes who she is talking about. Rose tells them she's going to dinner with him tonight. The next day, Blanche asks Sophia if her new bed arrived. She confirms it did and it took a long time to set up. Blanche is confused by this and realizes they must have delivered the wrong bed. She learns it cost the same price as the one she ordered, though. They sent the expensive bed, but charged her for the inexpensive one. Rose and Mr. Terrific arrive. Rose handles the introductions. When Mr. Terrific learns Dorothy is a teacher, he offers to get her a job on his show. She is cautiously excited. We are now on the set of Mr. Terrific's show. Dorothy has gotten a job on the show. She has given a number of ideas to the producer, and he likes them. As soon as taping is over, the producer wants to speak with Mr. Terrific. Rose returns to the house. Blanche confesses she is guilty about the bed, but they would never take it back now. Mr. Terrific arrives at the house, still in costume. He informs Rose that Dorothy got him fired. Dorothy says she will get his job back for him. The next day, Dorothy speaks with the producer about Mr. Terrific, but it doesn't help. He makes Dorothy guest host. Mr. Terrific drowns his sorrows at a bar. He tells his whole life story and no one cares. He sees Dorothy hosting the show and tells Rose he has one last thing to do. Dorothy is not doing well hosting the show. Rose bursts on the set, upset at Dorothy. There is an announcement that Mr. Terrific is going to jump off the building. Rose tries to talk him down. He tells her he's going to fly, not jump. People from below chant at him to jump. Rose tries to bring him in by telling him he'll have to take her as well. He holds Rose and then jumps off the ledge and flies with Rose in his arms. The stunt works and he has his job back. Back at the house, Blanche can't sleep. Mr. Policeman from Mr. Terrific's kids show comes over. Blanche thinks he is an actual officer and surrenders to him out of guilt. Favorite quotes. Dorothy. Ma, TV soap operas aren't real life. Sophia. Simple. I haven't seen so much brass since the Brass Knuckle RV show at the Palermo Hilton. Dorothy. I guess old habits die hard. Blanche. Just slap the handcuffs on me. The bed's this way. This episode is a relatively Rose-centric episode. We don't always get a lot of those. She's dating a new guy, and he has a kids' TV show, and he is Mr. Terrific. I don't know what to think about that. His show's been on the air for 2+ decades, and it's the same as it was beforehand. And Dorothy gets made the villain of this episode, even though it's really all just bad timing. Dorothy is a teacher, and Mr. Terrific is looking for someone like that who could help improve the show. And that's how he classifies it. But the producer has a whole different thought process in mind, which causes a lot of problems. Oh, Dorothy winds up being stuck in the role of host, guest host, sub-host, just don't let the show sink host, and does not do a good job because the other cast members that she needs to interact with are extremely angry. Mr. Terrific, on the other hand, has gone down a nasty little spiral hole of depression, I guess you could say. And he just has this whole different thought process. He's drinking at the bar, he's giving Rose ultimatums, and he's making threats, basically. And this is a guy who is supposedly kid-friendly because he hosts a kids' TV show. And he winds up creating this stunt where it looks like he's going to jump off the building and commit suicide, which sadly everyone below wants him to do. Instead, he flies, but Rose is trying to talk him off this ledge and from doing this crazy stunt. She doesn't know it's a stunt. Rose blindly gets in his arms thinking that, oh my God, this is my last couple of moments. Her life very likely flashed before her eyes as this all happened because she thought it was going to be the end for her. That's pretty scary, not knowing that something like this was going to happen. I mean, yes, I think she had a bit of trust in this guy, but I don't think she was going out with him all that long. Maybe a couple of weeks. That's not a lot of time to build up a bond of trust. And the whole thing was just a bit, woo. It's like when you're watching the episode, you can kind of see it looks like he's got some wires coming off him. But out in a sunny situation, on a ledge, you're not going to be able to see that. And that could be pretty scary. But thankfully, everything is safe, and Rose is not harmed. But the whole thing, yeah. He goes above and beyond in the super crazy zone to get his job back. And Dorothy never wanted his job in the first place. She was only looking for something to do during the summer while she didn't have any regular teaching positions. So she was never looking at it as a new career or anything like that. But he just took it too far. Thankfully, by the end of the episode, everyone is all right. Everyone is unharmed. But I do think that usually Rose gets the crazier of the boyfriends. I mean, she's got Mr. Terrific and a few others that just make you go, what on earth? But she is quite an interesting character, so she does tend to attract the crazies. Mr. Terrific is definitely a crazy, but at least he did not harm Rose, and that is what matters. Thanks for tuning in to the I Love This TV Show podcast. If you would like to make a donation in support of this podcast, you can through Cash App to Pasta26MC. That's pasta like the food, the number 2, the number 6, M as in monkey, C as in cat. If you would like to sponsor this podcast or advertise on it, please send an email to podcast@pastasworld.com. As always, you can go to pastasworld.com for more information.